In just a mo, I'll give you a brief explanation behind each answer, linking vocabulary or contextual links between the text and the question. I'll be going through the answers quickly, so make sure your coursebook is open in front of you, and please stop and rewind the video as you need to, and take your time to find the vocabulary and contextual links that I'll be talking about. Are you ready? Let's go. For question 1, the answer is E. The beginning of E, they, refers to all the different types of plastic which have been described before the gap. E also talks about being carried ashore, in other words, onto a beach. This also links back to the vocab before the gap where it says, take a walk along any beach, ... For question 2, the answer is A. The beginning of the paragraph talks about the problem of larger pieces of plastic. A describes the process of how they, which refers to the larger pieces of plastic, break down, and then after the gap, in the main text, you can see the potential results of that. For question 3, the answer is G. The beginning of G, this, refers back to the process mentioned in the paragraph before. Also, the idea in G about not being too much of a problem is then opposed in the main text as a contrast is then explained as the pieces could have potential harmful effects on the wildlife. For question 4, the answer is C. Tricky one, this one. The text before the gap refers to the North Pacific. The main text after the gap refers to the Atlantic. C links the two together by suggesting the problem could be in other oceans as well. That is, in this case, the Atlantic. The problem regarding plastic identified in C being elsewhere also links to the text after the gap where it mentions high concentrations of plastic particles being present in the water, in the Atlantic as well. For question 5, the answer is F. F talks about not all plastic floating. Then right after, in the main text, it talks about plastic sinking to the bottom. The paragraph then goes on to talk about the amount of plastic found on the seabed, in other words, the bottom of the sea. For question 6, the answer is B. The paragraph starts about needing to address a problem. B tells us how we can all contribute to resolving that problem. The text after, however, goes on to tell us that people who work on the sea must also be made aware and should be more careful.